Okay guys, we are back with another one. Shout out Memulous for this video. I've been subscribed to Memulous for such a long time. His videos are hilarious, please check him out. And today we are going to be reacting to Virgin Island is painful to watch. Now I personally haven't seen Virgin Island. I've seen things about Virgin Island, and yeah, it's just I can only imagine the amount of cringe. Do you know what I mean? The amount of cringe that you'll see on it. It must be painful to watch. Do you know what I mean? Even the title and just thinking about it, it's just gonna be dark. You already know it. Let's get straight to it.
Virgin Island is a new Channel 4 show where some producers have gathered up a motley crew of virgins and chucked them on an island in Croatia with the goal of losing their virginity with the help of some counsellors. And it is even more awkward and painful than it sounds. The first episode opens with the announcement that all of the virgins have to wear a uniform, so you know we can identify who is a virgin.
They'll wear a retreat outfit so they can focus on themselves, not their image.
They have to wear the virgin uniform.
I imagine that. Imagine being a virgin already, but now you gotta wear a uniform to say that you're a virgin. I don't know what people sign themselves up to, man. This is definitely not where I'm from. I can't say that still.
I'm dreading is hugging.
Did you not hug at the start?
Nope.
But I don't know why this guy is grilling the other about having not being hugged. You're both on Virgin Islands.
What's gonna happen on this island is mind-blowing. Breathe.
So they introduced the coaches who specialise in different touch therapies, and they're all a bunch of sex hippies. Like, it's kind of their role to work their way up with the virgins to get them more comfortable with intimacy. But the first thing they do is this weird breath therapy thing.
Some a throw.
Like, that made my stomach churn, man. All that breath up in man's system, like, these weird people as well.
Themselves in.
Like, it feels like one of those pointless GCSE drama classes where you're pretending to be a tree blowing in the wind, or like a Ford Fiesta exhaust pipe. I guess this weird breath therapy thing has to do with sex because you breathe during it.
And for touch-phobic Jason, it's more than he can handle.
So this guy they refer to as touch-phobic Jason goes and sits this one out, and honestly, I'd be doing the exact same thing if some hippie was trying to get...
Yeah, I'll be doing the exact same thing. I'm not doing no breathing therapy. That's just cringing me out as it is.
To make sex noises in front of like 20 others and a camera crew. Touch-phobic Jason is valid. Like, I wouldn't just be sitting that one out. I'd be getting on the first flight home from Virgin Islands. What have I signed up for? What have I signed up for here? I'm going home. Just gonna get on Viva Street. But the teacher decides they've learnt enough from the breathing exercise to invite a male hippie in to do a weird moaning exercise that I don't think I could play the audio from. I think you can get the gist of it from just the visuals.
Witnessing sexual desire for most of this group is clearly unsettling.
Yeah, it was fucking unsettling for all of us watching at home as well. But they saw one of the girls started crying during that weird shit, and honestly, same. So for some reason they sent her to a cabin with this French bloke to do touch exercises. Now, being sent with a French bloke to a cabin to do touch exercises does sound very creepy.
Does sound mad still. Man said just some random French dude just said, yeah, let's just do some touch therapy. Yeah.
Creepy as it sounds. The guy asks if she'd be comfortable with him touching anywhere to see how she'd feel, and he touched her knee and her thigh. And the rest of them kind of follow suit with this same exercise with different therapists. And like, while I'm watching this, I can't help but feel as though this exercise would be more effective if there weren't cameras there. Because this is an awkward thing, right? This is an awkward thing, especially if intimacy with another isn't necessarily something you've experienced before. Like, that in of itself will probably feel like an awkward and maybe overwhelming thing. And then on top of that, you got cameras in all the rooms picking up everything and broadcasting it.
Somatic therapy believes that just talking with someone is not going to be sufficient.
He loves it. He's involved, mate. He's involved. Yeah, I wonder what he's thinking.
He's necking on with one of the counselors. Fair enough, go on, mate. But the next task is to write an erotic fantasy. They got to write down a little story. And honestly, like, look, I don't know what I was expecting from Virgin Island, but writing erotic fantasy and doing like weird, like breathing shit isn't what I expected. I honestly thought it would be like one of those Nelk videos where they take virgins to like house parties and stuff. But anyway, all of their stories suck. All of them are terrible, except for this bloke who put in a proper shift.
The shadow descended from the top of the hill, upon which stood a towering warrior.
Yeah, of course. It had
He
to
removed
be
his
him,
helmet
innit?
to
It had
expose
to
his
be
fiery
him.
hair and
It had
moved
to be
forth.
him.
Removed.
He definitely is locked in. I don't even know if he's a virgin. He might just be there just for the vibes. You know he's locked in. He's just trying to get something. That's what it is. That's what it is. I've clocked him.
Sandals, she commanded. In that moment, she lifted her skirt and forced his head between her knees.
Nice one, mate. That's class. Well done. I can't say I'm especially bricked up after it. It was a bit wordy, but it was a great effort nonetheless.
After our last session, I think he's ready for most advanced therapy. Working with a
he's just
surrogate.
trying to skip the steps. He's trying to get straight to it. He ain't playing no games.
So like basically the whole concept of the show is they get a surrogate to get intimate with these people, and they try and work their way up to full-on shagging or basically whatever they're comfortable with.
The speed of the surrogate program doesn't seem to be moving fast enough for Zach.
Yeah.
So how far you want?
It's not moving fast enough. That's why. Look, he needs to get in. He's ready. He's loaded. Do you know what I'm saying? One exercise, I'm done. Get me in there.
To go with surrogate partner therapy?
I would like to go all the way. I would love to have sex with you. You know, that's why I came here.
There's this Zach bloke. He's a shagger deep down. He does not need to.
Yeah, like he ain't no flipping virgin. He's just trying to get some. That's what it is. To go on TV to get some though, like that's a bit mad still. Like he's just trying to get in, man.
Everyone else on this show, I feel like, has some kind of mental block about this kind of thing that they feel as though they need to overcome. He just hasn't shagged and wants to shag. So my thoughts of the first episode, actually quite sweet, but it is incredibly awkward and painful to watch. Like, we should not be watching this. This isn't something we should have like a fly on the wall documentary style thing about. Like, this is so deeply personal. I feel weird watching this. And that
I do feel weird watching this still, but TV's just come a long way, man. TV now is just brain rot material. So I guess you can make a show about anything, even if it's just shagging girls.
Certainly ramped up when I watched the second episode, because this episode is all about touch. The episode starts off with one of the counselors getting one of the guys to hold her arms in front of everyone else.
Think of your hands as like, I'm gonna get pleasure out of her arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For yourself.
I wank off your arm, sorry.
Nice one, man. They get the touch-phobic guy to slowly work his way up to hugging someone. It's awkward, but it's supposed to be.
How is this?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Cool, yeah.
I don't know why we're watching this. It is very intimate and personal. Like, that hug was probably the most intimate moment of that guy's life so far, and there was fucking hidden cameras in the corners of the room filming for a TV show called Virgin Islands.
You need to be doing the whole
So
arm.
what, like that, have it there, like that. Like it's all of it.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
For some reason, this person is really mean and annoying at this bit. Like, she says that this Jason guy has horrible stretch marks and starts barking orders at him.
Why do you have these horrible stretch marks? Okay, why are you focused in one area? More movement.
If I were the producer, she'd be on the first boat out of Virgin Island for being mean to my boy. He just had his...
Yeah, she needs to chill. She needs to chill. Do you know what I'm saying? These are just trying to get some. Let them get some in peace. They don't need the headache.
Not going to be an experienced masseuse. Stop being mean to him. One of the therapists asked this guy, Tom, to do some acting thing with her. Now, naive old me thought it would be acting out like a scenario or something, like going to the corner shop to buy bread. But no, they pretend to be animals, and it's all really strange.
Let that animal go after the other person, actually letting it move, letting it out in our body.
The others are just awkwardly watching on, like none of them want to be there, and I don't blame them. The atmosphere in that room seems to be palpable. The atmosphere in my living room, when it was just me watching it on my own, was palpable. The therapist then asked the rest of them if any of them would want...
It's palpable right now. I don't know.
And one of them reluctantly says yes, but it's very clear that nobody wanted to do this, and it is just so awkward. Again, no one watching on seems to be enjoying it, or even like is able to watch it neutrally. It seems like a very painful experience for all of them. Like, it was so painful just watching this on my own in my living room. I can't imagine having to be sat there and watching it in person.
And there's like a little bit of intensity that we're gonna kind of try to build between us.
Now, look, I was worried for my boy Jason, but I shouldn't have been, because right after that big, awkward, horrible show, he got well intimate with one of the sex hippies, and he even touched some tits. He touched some tits, guys. I can't show it. I can't.
This is my weekly dose of cringe therapy. This is what I call cringe therapy. This is cringe therapy.
One of the sex hippies, and he even touched some tits. He touched some tits, guys. I can't show it. I can't really show much of this moment because I don't think the YouTube policy team would want to see a virgin succeed. But I'm proud of my boy. One of the guys at the start had sort of half grilled him for not hugging someone, probably in the back of his mind thinking what a loser he was. But now, guess what? He's touched tits, and it's only been a matter of days. So my thoughts after the second episode, I'm not looking forward to where this is going. We're only on the second episode, and we already have people pretending they're animals and sniffing each other and shit. But episode 3, the boys have makeup put on them by the girls, and I guess the producers thought that was well gay, so immediately sent them to the woods to chop wood. Not sure what this has to do with shagging birds, but all right, fair enough. There's another session of the touching. That's what a lot of this show has been so far, and honestly, Virgin Island looks fun. Like, they get to go to an island in Croatia, probably the most beautiful part of the world, and just chill. And when they're not chilling, they're learning how to shag. If it weren't for the weird, awkward sexual demonstrations, it would be a class holiday destination. Speaking of, they do this flirting/dating workshop, and another one of my favourite students, Zach, has game.
I like how you get lost in your thoughts there.
Always get
somewhere
lost.
else.
Hey, Zach. Hey, you got game, my boy. You've been doing this. We know. Stop lying. We know you do this.
Wow.
Look at him go. Excellent. I was taking notes as you were speaking, big man. Just a few days on Virgin Island, and you're already a master of the game. So my thoughts on episode 3, this show is a lot more emotional and deep than I was expecting. I haven't spoken about a lot of this episode because there's not really much from this one that I can make fun of. But going into this, I kind of thought it would be a bit Fat Families, like there'd be a presenter that opens the show with, I'm on Virgin Island with some of the most pathetic virgins from across the country to see if we can get them laid. But the next episodes are something to behold. Episode 4 is all about the body. The episode starts off with the virgins in a workshop, and the two sex hippies take their clothes off in front of them. Then they invite them up to get naked in front of everyone else and also everyone watching the show at home. Like, this is a big jump. I don't think many, if any people have been naked.
Big jump. Still, I can only imagine how they're feeling
in front of anyone else. And this is the first time they're doing it on national television. Personally, right? I would tell them to fuck off. I did, and fair enough, I wouldn't have. Like, imagine knowing your parents are watching you get your knob out on Virgin Islands. The next lesson or workshop or whatever they had was, it was a lesson on how to touch a vagina.
I know a lot of you really wanted to learn how to touch a pussy.
They show a diagram, and then one of the therapists gets on a bed and spreads her legs. It all feels very...
I can't lie, these therapists love it, man. These lot are enjoying it. They're getting a kink out of this, 100%.
And awkward, and that's a word I've used a lot, awkward, because that's just what this show is. It's fucking awkward.
Guys, this is awkward still. This is weird. I really need to sort out these adverts as well. Let's just take a break to talk about that because, yeah, maybe might just have to get premium.
That's just what this show is. It's fucking awkward. Like, it's painfully awkward. Then this bloke gets up and gets his knob out and squeezes it and stuff. I'm not going to show it, obviously, but, like, you know, I don't know. I guess it's Virgin Island. It's Virgin Island. It's to be expected. that doesn't mean I enjoyed it anymore. This bloke invites one of the virgins called Charlotte into a tent to show her his knob.
This is an opportunity to see my body naked and for me to also see your body naked.
She does take her top off, and Channel 4 did censor her, so that's good. They clearly asked afterwards if they could keep everyone's cocks in. This guy called Dave goes into another tent to touch some pussy, and he does. He succeeds with flying colours, and it might be the most awkward thing I've watched on this show so far. Actually, scratch that, the most awkward thing I've ever watched.
How did you expect it to feel?
I don't know, not that.
For this and the other bits on this show, I was just sat on my sofa with the tensest grimace on my face. So my thoughts on episode 4, I think I've had enough of this now, but it's not going to stop. We still have 2 more episodes. Episode 5 begins with the sex hippies teaching positions, and honestly, I thought I was going to be numb to the
Finally something educational.
amount of cringe this show emits. But no, it just keeps going, and it just keeps getting worse.
Oh yeah, look. He's locked in. He's been waiting 5 episodes for this. Look at his smile. He's loving it. He's loving it.
What a lucky boy.
It ends up with some of...
Yeah. Oh, I need to watch this show now. I'm locked in.
Virgins just dry humping one of the therapists or counselors or whatever they are in front of everyone. At this point, I'm honestly wondering what they're preparing these guys for. Like, are they preparing them to have intimate relationships with a partner or be doggers? Because in what other scenario are you doing this in front of other people? To be honest, right, most of the show is like one-on-one sessions, and it's rarely the one-on-one sessions that are awkward. It's these fucking workshops. I can't stand them. It's always just like some sort of horribly awkward activity while the rest of the virgins sit in the cuck bleachers.
Your therapist sucks you off.
No, not yet, but they might do today. I might ask her for that. She'll...
Alright, Zach, rein it in. Honestly, there's barely anything from this episode I could show because the topic of the episode was the orgasm. So yeah, there's literally a bit where we see one of the therapists wank one of the virgins off. I did not even know you were allowed to show that on TV. Okay, episode 6, final episode. It starts off with the virgins doing that weird exercise the sex hippies did in the first episode for some reason. Like, is it just me that thinks this show is a bit much? Like, it is a bit hip. I know I call them sex hippies, but it is a bit hippie-ish, innit? Like, we don't need to be doing all of this, do we? But this episode is all about shagging, and I'm happy to report at least one of them did the deed. Hooray!
I'm gonna call it. I know who did the deed. He's been meaning to do the deed. He's been wanting to do the deed. And I'm not gonna lie, he's probably done the deed before, let's be real.
But as a result of the topic of this episode, I can't fucking show basically any of it that's worth talking about if I wish to keep my YouTube channel intact. I'm honestly so shocked you can actually show this shit on TV. And not just that these people would be keen for it to be shown. Like, they all signed up for this, and they're all mic'd up the whole time whilst just doing all this stuff for the first time. Like, okay, right, when the guy who loses his virginity is cheating, they just play the audio of him shagging with B-roll of the sea and the island. It's so fucking weird. Like, it's so horrible. Like, I think they're trying to make it like this beautiful, you know, spiritual thing. It's just a bloke making sex noises. So, Virgin Island. It's a lot more wholesome than I was expecting. A lot of crying and emotions as well. Like, a good half of this show is people crying. It's not really what I was expecting it to be. Deep down, and I know it's not good, but if I'm being honest with myself, I wanted something like Fat Families, because that would have been funny. Was it nice? Yeah. Was it wholesome? Yeah. Was it a good show? Not really, to be honest. Like, every episode sort of feels the exact same. You could watch the first 2, maybe even just the first episode of this, and come away with the exact same feeling you'd have if you watched the entire thing. I think for season 2, they should just sack off the seasoned sex experts and just have Bonnie Blue there. Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Even watching this reaction, like, watching this video from Memeless, it's just like, yo, people actually do this. This is people's lives. Their kids are gonna see this if they manage to do the deed, of course. Guys, if you are enjoying the video, please like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Please follow my Twitch as well.